Hey everyone, Crazy Jimmy here. Got a pretty good assortment of stuff to show you. First off, thanks for watching. As always, appreciate your comments. If you like what you see in here, please thumbs it up. Hit the notification bell, subscribe, tell your friends, drop this link everywhere. All right, so why don't we get rolling? I have more private pressings to show. The majority of these are going to be private pressings. I'll sprinkle a few mainstream ones in there, but the majority are private pressings. And then I'm going to try to get to some other stuff. I keep saying that, but it just never seems to happen. But when you're into like something, you know how it is with record collecting. You kind of go down this path and you go down that rabbit hole for a while, and then you go to another rabbit hole. It's just the way it is. But why don't we start with something that's not a private press? So I've been looking for. Now I have a copy of this this Vince Guaraldi. I have a copy of this exact one, but I've been looking for the 12 prints that come with it. These prints here I mean, I've had this in my want list for years, waiting for a reasonable copy to come up with the 12 prints. And finally, one that was priced right came up, and it was very fair, because normally when the 12 prints are there, it's like huge money, well over 120 to 200, which is, I shouldn't say it's not fair. I mean, these prints are super rare. They just never come up because people hung them up, or they put them in their books, they taped them to their books. I mean, this is a 1964 pressing, so and the colors are beautiful. These pastels are just gorgeous. So, and you're talking 64, so you're talking over 60 years old, and to not have any pinholes in these is just unbelievable. Usually, sometimes when you do see them, there's pinholes, there's tape residue, all kinds of nastiness, and that's when you do see them. I love this one. But yeah, I was super psyched. Love his hair, by the way. Look at that hair; it's so cool. Super psyched to see this for a reasonable price from a vendor that I've purchased from before, that I trust, that is conservative with grading. And so I went ahead and purchased this and posted my copy without the prints online for sale. I do have a first press of this, a double now, that I did post at a very fair price. I think it's like the cheapest one there, which is my MO, because I don't like to sit on things. So yeah, I mean, if you were looking for a copy of this record, hit me up, because now I have one. But yep, cool beans. All right. Next up, a bunch of private presses that a lot of these are cheap heat. Some of these are in the Acid archives, but a lot of these are very affordable. When I say affordable, anywhere from $5 to $25 max. Some are more, but yeah. And I'm going to start with the Roslyn Mountain Boys on the Adelphi label. Not so sure Adelphi is a private press, but it is like one of those sub labels. But oh my god, sorry for the glare. It's in the shrink anyway, so I'm not going to take it out. But this is fantastic. And I'm a huge early Eagles fan, like Desperado album and their first album. And I just love, and make fun of me if you want, I love that SoCal, Laurel Canyon, smooth harmony sound. Americana, love that, always have. And this is right there, and it's so cheap too. I can't believe how inexpensive this is, and it shouldn't be, because it's just an unbelievable SoCal Americana album from the 70s. So the Roslyn Mountain Boys, Rosslyn. If you want to look it up and pick up a copy, I think you should, especially if you're into this stuff. So there's that. Next up, I was so impressed with this. I actually got, there's a first press and then a second press with a different cover. And I was so amazed by how incredible this is that I had to get the second press that they repressed in like 79. This is the first press from 75. Really cool cover. Albrecht and Raleigh. And it is on Airborne Records, which is a great label. One of those Zion labels, but really the lyrics on here are not very, it doesn't remind me of Jesus that much. But yeah, if you love Simon and Garfunkel, like the harmonies and their early stuff, this is just, the harmonies are to die for. I think I put on Discogs a quick review on this. Just unbelievable harmonies. The songwriting is fantastic. Some of the guitar picking will bring to mind like James Taylor, like early James Taylor, Sweet Baby James. And then the vocals like Simon and Garfunkel harmonizing at times. So just unbelievable. Albrecht and Raleigh. And then Albrecht, Raleigh, and Moore. They picked up this guy Moore and released more albums. And I did get one of those too because the harmonies are just phenomenal. But yeah, this is a great album. And I picked up the repress of this as well, which was pressed about a few years later in the 70s. I think only 1,500 were pressed to this, and the other one, 1,000 were pressed, and then 1,000 of the repress were done. Both great covers too. All right. Next up, I want to thank my friend Joe for hooking me up with a couple beauties. This is John Villamonte, Clear and Velvet. Really good private press here on Dawn Music. Right there. But yeah, this is, again, very James Taylor, Sweet Baby James. You'll hear a lot of that because, that's what early singer-songwriter folk sounds like. But there's definitely some Americana going on here, a little SoCal, a little smooth. Some little AOR too, but no, it's all guitar and vocals pretty much. Some drums and bass here and there, but yeah, singer-songwriter all the way. Great stuff. This is in the Acid Archives as well. John Villamonte, hit that up. That's his third album. His first album and second album are like through the roof. They're like $200 a pop, and this one was affordable, so that's where I started. Skeptic Union is the next, from the hills of Arizona. Excellent. Again, another Laurel Canyon type, early 70s. There's the label right there. And I'm going to try to speed things through because I got so many to show, and I know a lot of you are going to want to pop onto YouTube, listen to the snippets, see what you like, see what you don't like. Skeptic Union, another great one. Good private press. Again, thanks Joe for hooking me up with this original pressing of Spur of the Moment. Now this one is not cheap heat. This can be a little expensive, but Joe is kind because the sleeve wasn't in great shape. As you can see, it's got some, moderate ring wear. But this is also a great Acid Archives country rock mixture with a little bit of 50s in there. There's like a 50s medley in here too. But yeah, this was repressed, I think, on Drag City, and the repress is like a comp, and it cuts out a bunch of tracks off of this, but I love a lot of these songs, so I wanted the original and to have them all. But Mind Odyssey is like the one everyone talks about from this album, but there's actually quite a few good tracks on here, so don't sleep on that. Next up, Bert Keeley, Take Me Home, 1979. Sounds very American Beauty, Grateful Dead, mixed with a little bit of AOR. And a little bit of jazz as well. So this one's been getting a lot of play. Manhole Music Records. This one's getting a lot of play online, and this is also in the Acid Archives as well. Not cheap heat, but well worth it for sure, especially if you like your Grateful Dead with a little bit of jazz here and there. Some really good variety on this too. So I love variety. I love replay value. Next up, this one's super rare. Pat Ammett, songs by Pat Ammett, right here. You really never see this one. Not cheap heat. It's on the Signet label, pretty plain label there. Again, sorry for the glare. It's in the shrink. Most of these are, But yeah, this is really good keyboard. I think this was released in 71 or 72. And this is really good keyboard, singer-songwriter on keyboard. Very little guitar on here. But yeah, the songs are very well written. This is not Laurel Canyon. It's more pop and rock. But it's done really well, and it's done in a singer-songwriter type vibe. And there's a lot of dreaminess to this as well. And I love dreamy music, so check out that. Next up, I've been looking for a better copy of this, so I put my double up online. This is the Bob Megan Band, The Dancer. This is the private press version on Bandola Records. Really cool label, by the way. But yeah, this is great. This has a little bit of country rock, a little bit of rock as well, a little bit of pop. But yeah, it's a good mixture, a good variety. Side B is better than side A, but I like the whole thing. This was actually picked up by Capitol Records and re-released in 1976. This is the original private press. Came out in 75. So a Capitol executive heard them playing live out in Arizona. I think that's where they played live all the time, and picked them up and signed them and re-released this. And they actually made the band redo the album. So this is more spare. This is the better of the two to get, but I have both. So because they're both very different, and there's actually a couple different tracks on here versus the Capitol release, which has a couple different tracks on that one. So it's not a complete copy, and all the songs were redone. So you're gonna want both if you like it. But this is the better of the two, in my opinion. Cheap heat right here for sure. That can be had for about $10. Another cheap heat here, the Krug brothers, or Krug. You can call them the Krug or Krug. The Memories Remain, and this is kind of, people don't really know this one too well. It's not in the Acid Archives, but yeah, it's kind of a good duo with great harmonies, a little AOR, pop, rock, and some country. Really good mixture there, but what really strikes me with this are the harmonies of these two are just phenomenal. So again, another one you can pick up for $10. So the Krug brothers. All right, here we got Poker Flats, self-titled Poker Flats on Stack Deck Records. Look at that, Stack Deck. It's a stack deck. Poker Flats. Very Eagles. A little bit of Lynyrd Skynyrd too. So it's like a heavier version of the Eagles. Great harmonies. The harmonies are just phenomenal on this. So check it out. Mid-70s. Great stuff. Poker Flats. Cheap heat. All right. This one's kind of medium heat. Because you're going to pay between $50 and $80 for it. This is Southwest FOB. I don't know what FOB stands for. Smell of Incense. This is great. Psych, pop Psych, has that Simon and Garfunkel kind of sound, but it's love the hip label too. Look at that label, so cool. Sorry for the glare. It's in the shrink, but yeah, just so good. Especially if you like early Simon and Garfunkel Psych, and the vocals are great. Very dreamy. Very dreamy. And I think I saw a really affordable one online in the shrink for like $50. So drop what you're doing after this video and go buy it if it's still there. Next up, Wheat Ridge. This is Cheap Heat, Sweetwater Records. And again, country rock. Really good harmonies. But yeah, love the sleeve. This is, I think, 1974. But I don't believe there's a year on it on Discogs. Check out Wheat Ridge. Next up, I showed this guy's first album on the last video. This is the second one, called Travelin'. And this one's actually, for me, I like this one better. This one better than the first one. And the first one's like 5 times as expensive as this one. So you get this one for $20, and I think it's better. And there's the label, really great yellow label. A lot going on there. But Billy Halquist, Travelin'. The other one I showed last video was just titled Billy Persephone. if you remember. But this one is more country rock and country folk. The best way I can describe this, if you like early John Prine, like John Prine's first album, which I think you all probably do, great album, this will be right up your alley. Also great harmonies on here too. Recorded very well, sounds phenomenal. Great cheap heat here, not expensive. But yeah, you're a John Prine fan, you got to be all over that. Next up, John Soderman, under again, Canada artist, and you can probably tell with all the snow on his cabin. There's the label. Yeah, Canadian artist. What can I say about this? I mean, folk, a little bit of acid going through it, but mostly singer-songwriter type folk. Very well done. The writing is great, and I actually find some replay value on it too. So check this out. This is in the Acid Archives, I believe. Whiskey River, another kind of Eagles-sounding band. This one has a hype sticker on it, which you don't normally see with these private presses. But yeah, love the cover too. Really cool image there. But yeah, you can tell they're country rock all the way. But the good kind of country rock, and this is cheap heat right here, $10 to $15 all day long. Whiskey River. And I think they have a follow-up to that as well. Next up, this is called A Good Example, Old Happy Places. This is O&B. The O&B, they're also in Acid. This is in Acid Archives as well, I believe. But O&B's first album, or only album, was in Acid Archives as well. Before this one is Psych rock, Psych pop. And this one is more... this has Psych elements because there's some O&B songs they redid for this one. All they did was change their name. But yeah, this is a little more Laurel Canyon, a little more country than O&B, where O&B was more all Psych and Psych pop. But yeah, great label. If you can see that. What was this label? Not sure. But yeah, there they are. Zinser, I think, is the main songwriter. But really, this is great. I'm not going to say it's cheap heat. It's like medium heat. And can be had for a decent price if you're patient. But highly, highly, highly recommend this private pressing. Oh, God. I listened to this yesterday, fell in love with it. This is Bob Lucas, The Dancer Inside You. Now, on Discogs it said it's a screen printed sleeve. This is not screen printed, so I don't know who put that on there. I don't know if any screen printed sleeves exist of this. It's on the Barbecue label. But yeah, this guy's vocals are super high. He has a great falsetto, but it's not off-putting. What an incredible singer-songwriter this guy is. Bob Lucas. Don't confuse him with Ted Lucas. But yeah, there's actually some Psych going on here. Some Laurel Canyon, Americana, some West Coast. Some pop Psych as well, as I said. But yeah, there's a lot of variety in here, and I really love this album. I mean, super, super stoked to get this with the sleeve. Apparently, it's really hard to get any sleeve with this one. I think there's nothing for sale on eBay for this, and there's maybe 7 of them online, and only a few of them come with a sleeve. Don't know what that's all about, but I did reach out to some people that claim to own it and asked them if they have that sandpapery screen printed sleeve, and they're like, no, it's smooth, it doesn't feel screen printed. So I don't know what that's all about, but anyways, the colors are really beautiful. Great album, though. All right, you like folk and blues from Cambridge, Massachusetts? Well, I do. 1974, Richard Johnson, Plum Island. Same guy, I guess his nickname is Stonefingers. He wrote the Plum Island national anthem. And I think it's on here. So, Fretless Records. But yeah, this is very bluesy and folky. I can describe this. The best artist I can reference for this would be, was it Michael Hurley? Michael Hurley, the one who does all the cartoons. He just passed away not too long ago. That's what this reminds me of a bit. There's like 3 instrumentals on it that are just phenomenal. His guitar work is great. His vocals are unbelievable. He's got like a quiver to his vocal that I absolutely love. So, Richard Johnson, Plum Island, Cheap Heat. Throw that over there. Next up, I have a copy of this online for sale as well, so hit me up if you're interested. This is Gary Kramer. If you like the Modern Lovers and the Violent Femmes, and let me give you a modern reference, the Weaker Thins. And this is a Canadian artist, and the Weaker Thins are from Canada. But this reminded me so much of the Modern Lovers, like that really good Modern Lovers album. This is a great album, and it's cheap. I'm selling mine for like $23, but if you want to hit me up on the side and do something on the side, I can do better than that. It's on Q Records. But yeah, if you like the Modern Lovers and a little bit of Violent Femmes, Gary Kramer's first and only album, phenomenal. Next up, Steven Spano, Eye to Eye on the Adelphi label. I'll tell you, the Adelphi label is just, they do great work, especially this sleeve is textured, and you can't tell, it's in the shrink, but it's heavily textured. So really, really fine work here. This will remind you of a little bit of like a Wizard, a True Star, Todd Rundgren. There's a lot of variety on here. There's some prog mixed with Americana and pop Psych. There's one track that has where he plays the bells on it. It's just, there's so much variety on this. I can't understate that. This is in the Acid Archives, and it should be, because it's very Psych. It's very good. From the 70s. Don't know the year, but let's see. Yeah, 74. Steven Spano, good Italian fella. Eye to Eye. Pick one of those up if you see it. Okay, a couple things that are not cheap heat. These were huge wants of mine. This is a Canadian artist. Grew up in Toronto, Montreal area, moved to Vancouver area. This is Huckle. Kelly Kavanaugh's his real name, but he goes by Huckle. This is Upon a Once Time. Not Once Upon a Time. Upon a Once Time. Huckle. His first album, 1974. Homespun label. 11 tracks on here. 9 were recorded live during a sound check with his band. Well, most of it's solo with him, but there's like 2 live ones with his band, and then 9 more from a sound check. But yeah, this is, I guess apparently this is like the #1 Canadian private pressing, especially when it comes to Americana and, folk and Americana and that Laurel Canyon sound, that sound we all like die for. This is so good, and I also recommend Huckle's second 1976 with Wild Blue Yonder. That's actually his band is Wild Blue Yonder. But this is the second one on Homespun right there. Now, only 500 pressed here and 300 pressed here, so it's really hard to find. This is the very first pressing is the one with the paste on slick on the front and the back. There are some hand-drawn covers because he ran out of these covers. So those are the second edition, but they do have a first edition record in them. So, but if you want a very first, look for the paste on. But these are just both just top shelf. Of course, they're in the Acid Archives. Top shelf. Larry Barkemeyer, Looking Back, great private pressing, singer-songwriter, little country rock, little folk. This is on the LDB label. You can tell what it is just by looking at the cover. I mean, check it out. You know that 70s singer-songwriter right there. You know it. Okay, we're going to try to move quickly. This is Three Faces West. This was recorded live mostly. Three Faces West. There's the label. It's just what you see. I mean, it's great harmonies, very Eagles-like, very West Coast. Phenomenal. And I think they have a couple albums. Leonard Schaefer, A Boy and His Dog. Really good singer-songwriter mixed with some folk and pop Psych. I picked this up for $3 at the store. Well worth. I mean, this was worth $50. It's that good. Good 70s stuff. Oh, another great one. Jacob's Creek on the Columbia label. This is not a private press, but yeah, more of the same. You know what this is just by looking at it. Very West Coast, but there's also pop, some psych elements going through it, and a little bit of acidity. I think this is in the Acid Archives. We'll do one more today. Let's see. Wait, 2 more, 3 more, 4 more. All right. Michael O'Gara. This is 1974 on the London label, but this was Tax Scam released under Michelangelo, I believe, or Michelo, with this generic cover in 1977. So I think Tomorrow Records released it as a Tax Scam with one different track on it. So there's one different track on this and one different on that. So obviously I want to get that when I find it for a reasonable price. But this one popped up very reasonable, so I grabbed it. Really good Van Morrison-like rock. Very Van Morrison-esque. All right, I got 2 from this band. Again, very Eagles-like, with a little bit of Southern rock thrown in for good measure. Free Beer. This is their first, 1975, and their second on the RCA label. This one is on Southwind label. Right there. But yeah, this is, really great harmonies on both of these. This is self-titled. This one's Highway Robbery. Both Cheap Heat. So don't sleep on those. And as promised, one more. David Bateau, Happy in Hollywood. Really good mixture of rock, pop psych, a little bit, a country rock track, a little bit of everything on here. Some AOR from the 70s. I mean, you can pretty much see what it's going to be like just by the cover. But yeah, really good stuff. Not expensive. Good cheap heat. But anyways, thanks for sticking with me all the way to the end. I hope you find a bunch of stuff you liked and you picked up. Again, reach out to me if you're interested in any of my doubles I mentioned on the message. Put it in the comments and I'll respond. Maybe give me your email or something. But anyways, thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. Crazy Jimmy out.